Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Ken and Mark Show.
Or how I learned to stop worrying and just call it football.
That's right, the show where the opinions are made up and the shape of the balls does not matter. That's right. Welcome to our temporary podcast setup this evening.
Coming from an undisclosed location.
From undisclosed, from parts unknown, as they say in the old WWF.
I wish I was. I wish I. God.
Are you not cold? Is it not cold where you are right now?
No, I'm layered. It's all about the layers.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, my space heater is broken and my basement is freezing. So, hat, earmuffs.
Nice, dude.
So let's get right into this because I think we have a limited amount of time here. So,
let's roll it.
Let's just roll right into the whirlwind weeks in review. I like that. Okay, so Super Bowl. Boy, do we get that wrong.
Wow. Well, we got half of it wrong.
Yes, we got half of it wrong. We expected Tampa to be pretty good. We expected Tampa's defense to be great. We did not expect Kansas City's offense to be inept.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened there.
Yeah. I mean, Tampa Bay figured out Kansas City. I mean, but that's what good coaching does. I mean, they were running, from what I heard, they were running a cover 2 shell for only 45% of the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And when they didn't run it, they were getting they were getting bombed out of the stadium. But again, Kansas City had to settle for a field goal instead of 4 touchdowns. Right. And then in the second half, I guess they run that same cover 2 shell 89% of the time, and that was game over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this feels like a similar example to what happened in the Seahawks playoff game, where the defense played the cover 2 shell and Seattle just could not take what they were given underneath. They kept trying to go deep. And it feels like Kansas City never figured out how to take what they were getting underneath. Also, Mahomes did not have a clean pocket all night.
No.
Like, he was running for. I saw a stat that he ran 500 yards before throwing the football or being sacked.
But what they should have done, like, I remember, it takes me back to my old Madden video game. How do you stop a rush like that? You run screens and draws. What they should have done, like, they have Le'Veon Bell, and I forget the rookie running back, and the tight end. You run a lot of screens. They needed to slow down that pass rush. And I know Tyreek Hill, but you've won games with Tyreek Hill, like, getting 1 touch. They needed to change. They, instead of adapting, which I thought Andy Reid would adapt, he didn't. Which I think, personally, I mean, I think what happened was Andy Reid's son got into a big accident.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Like a Thursday before the Super Bowl, Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
And it ended up killing a little girl, and I think his son's like the coach on the team, and I think that took, and I think I took Andy out of the game personally. I think that messed up his whole. You can't concentrate on football when your son, has just gone through this experience. He's human,
I expected Kansas City to adapt, and they didn't. You're right. There was. It didn't seem like there was anything they could do. They were also plagued by drop passes. They had so many drop passes. I mean,
by guys that never drop.
Oh yeah, that one pass that Patrick Mahomes threw, running sideways, falling down, upside down. I mean, that should have been caught, and it was dropped. And it's like
every other game of the season, that's touchdown.
Yeah, it's weird because that Chiefs team is largely the same team that played last year in the Super Bowl. So it's not like they have an excuse of we've never been here before and the moment is too big for us. They just kind of, I mean, to use the phrase, drop the ball, and they just didn't.
When I knew they were in big trouble was when Travis Kelce had a wide open first down, like in the first quarter, second quarter, and he just straight up dropped it.
Yep.
I think it came after the Tyreek Hill drop, which that would have been a circus catch, but it hit him in the helmet. I mean,
yeah.
But he makes that catch. That's that's why you pay him big bucks.
Right.
That when your big guns are dropping passes left and right, you can't keep Mahomes. I mean, they should have ran more draws and bootlegs with him, and because early on when they were moving the football, they were he was running, he was bootlegging, running. I mean,
right.
They should have. I'm sorry if I got Le'Veon Bell and this other guy. I'm going to try to run the football and get that safety in the box,
and
then go back to my offense. But I just think Andy Reid, I believe that he'll probably say it didn't have effect on his game, but when his son and a part of the team is in the hospital or whatever, like that I'm sorry, that played a part, because you cannot tell me that Kansas City isn't known for making adjustments. This is a team that is used to going down, making adjustments, and coming back.
Every playoff game last season.
Yeah, I believe that's what happened.
I think we also need to give that Tampa defense a little bit of credit, because they were unbelievable. They're really good.
Don't get me wrong. That Tampa, like the Tampa defense and the Tampa offense, it finally played the game perfect on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, they talk about saving your best for last.
Yeah.
Tampa, that defensive line was not going to be denied. I mean, as much as I hate Ndamukong Suh, just because I like a cocky player. I love a cocky, but I don't like a dirty player.
Yeah.
And I understand when you're a nose tackle defense. I mean, he's got that nastiness streak in him.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? He's got a ring, and the other guys don't.
Yeah, they deserve a lot of credit. They played really well, and they've been. I mean, the exception, like the first 2 weeks of the season, that defense has been really good all season. So I mean, they deserve it. Tom Brady now has 7 championships, which is more than I believe. There's some like 11 franchises combined.
I just heard it on I forget on what show. 18 teams combined. He has more rings than.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, hey,
that's over half. That's over half the amount of teams.
Yeah, and he's 43 years old. So, and honestly, with that defense, can probably get back there again one more time.
Oh yeah, and the guys they're going to add, there's going to be more.
They're running into some cap issues. There's a bunch of guys now whose contracts are expiring that they're going to either have to pay or let go, and some of them are really important. So we'll see how that works.
What they're gonna do is they're gonna get guys in there that are ring chasing, because And what they'll do is they'll fill those spots with veterans that restructured their contract. League minimum they'll get a league minimum with incentives.
Right.
And they'll probably get JJ Watt. They'll probably get so and so and so and so. Like,
yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you go to Tampa? If I'm an older veteran that doesn't have a ring, I'd hitch my horse to fucking Tom Brady's wagon.
I mean, look, there are a couple teams. There are a couple teams in the NFC that are attractive. Tampa, Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay is not that far away either. And if San Francisco had a quarterback, that would be a Super Bowl contending team.
I believe San Francisco will have a upgrade at quarterback. But I'll still take if they don't want if no one wants Jimmy G, I'll take him. I like him.
Yeah, look, if you're not asking Garoppolo to win games, he'll work out.
And with that defense and that running game, you're not. And guess what? When he was healthy, guess what? He took them to a Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, so, if that San Francisco, if they get all their defensive players back healthy, I mean, weren't they fielding like 20 something substitutes last season because of injuries and COVID? Like they had.
It was like what we covered. Like we covered this last podcast. Like they could have fielded a starting squad, offense and defense, with the amount of injuries they had. It was nuts.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen next season. So no. I mean, if they can, man, if that defense is healthy, wow.
And it really, I feel bad for Jordan Love, because if Green Bay drafts one of the good, a Claypool, or if they draft a good wide receiver, Green Bay's in the Super Bowl.
Yes, the Green Bay has a shot at it too. That's another place that you might go if you were chasing a ring. Green Bay's in good shape. J.J. Watt asked for his release from the Houston Texans this week, and he was granted it. 10 years and the franchise. He is I think when you think Houston Texans, you think Andre Johnson and you think J.J. Watt, right? Watt. So,
I would say I would argue you think J.J. Watt and then Andre Johnson.
And J.J. Watt's probably, I think he is the most decorated player in franchise history.
I mean, it's 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 8-time All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler.
Right.
I mean, he's a 10-year veteran. He gets to go anywhere he wants. He was due $17 million. So now anywhere he goes, he's going to restructure his contract. So he's going to have to. But he gets to now go to a contender.
Yes. And he's coming off of a down year. So his price is not going to be too high. So there are a lot of teams who could afford him if he was interested in going there.
He's not going to – the next team he signs for won't be for money. It will be to get that team over the hump.
Right. Yeah.
So
I'm just saying that there are some teams with cap crunches that might be able to fit him in, because he's not coming off of an 18 sack Pro Bowl season.
I think he goes to Tampa. That's where it just seems so. It's perfect.
Yeah, I'm not sure who you take off the defensive line to put him on there.
You rotate him in.
You rotate.
You like, I take J.J. Watt. If I'm in Tampa and I say, hey man, we're gonna rotate you in. We're gonna keep you fresh all season. So when it comes time to pin your ears back and go after the quarterback, like what Julius Peppers was like what Julius Peppers was later in his career, stuff like that.
Yeah, if I'm the Packers, I'm taking a serious run at that.
Yeah.
At J.J. Watt.
They'd be stupid not to.
Yeah. I guess there's a rumor that Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks are on shaky ground. I don't know if I believe it, but because I feel like in the NFL offseason, anytime anybody says anything, people overreact because there's no football games to talk about. So we talk about this.
Exactly.
But the thing that makes this maybe a little different is that Russell Wilson never says anything other than, hey man, got to get better, go Hawks. And the fact that it's not that is a little concerning. But at the same time, I mean, what incentive does Seattle have to get rid of him? None. he's still a top 5 quarterback.
Oh,
like I mean, unless you're going to try and swap him for Deshaun Watson, I don't see what you're going to do to. I mean, there's nothing that you can get back that's going to replace that.
And to me, he's got a good team up there. It's that they fucked up down the stretch, plain and simple. I mean, it happened.
Yeah, they didn't adapt, and the new offensive coordinator and he need to work together to figure out how to get that going.
With with Liverpool losing and United tying today, ESPN set out an alert. Manchester City is 98% or 98.6% likely to retain the title or get the title.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only team capable of catching them at this point is United.
And we keep dropping the ball. Like we have to.
Yeah, we're on a 3-game losing streak again. They look tired and they look lost. Well, they don't know what they're doing.
Well, when it comes to Liverpool, I understand it because of the injuries. When you lose your whole when you've got midfielders playing center back, and it's not for a game or two.
Yeah, it's for stretches of the season.
Because not only were your starting center backs out, then your reserve center backs are out. There's nothing Jurgen Klopp can do. There's nothing. I mean, even like you can't go out and spend 200 million pounds on 2 guys that aren't going to start next season because your starters and backups are already set. Like you've got a great defense, it's just injured.
Yeah,
and that, I mean,
what it feels like is because of the injuries to the defense, the midfielders have had to drop back and play defense, which has left the midfield wanting. Like the midfield play has been atrocious, and it's because we've got so many midfielders playing center back and no midfielders playing midfield.
Exactly. I mean, I tip for the cap to Klopp for even keep to like top 4 should be. If you guys get top 4, like I'd be happy with that. Because I would actually be surprised at this after the last stretch of 6 or 7 games. I would be surprised if we make top 4. And because Allison, I mean, they're like, oh, he's coming down the earth and being no, he doesn't have no goalkeeper who doesn't have a brick wall in front of him. Who doesn't, you take away the 2 best defenders, like I guarantee you, Ederson for City, you take away their 4 center backs and have to put, he's going to be letting goals in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just there's too. But the thing about it is with United, it's the coaching. I see nothing changing. We're not dealing with injuries. I mean, against West, we're tying against teams or losing against teams that are the bottom of the league, they're in relegation battles, and there's no reason we should be losing to these guys or tying them. And it's a damn shame is what it is. And Ole doesn't know what he's doing. And the guys are tired. He doesn't know how to rotate. He doesn't know how to rotate. Donnie Van Der Beek, we bring him in. We don't play him. But when he does play, but he needs to run a game. Ole is the problem at United. But the fact that, we keep finishing these high positions, other people don't see it. But when I watch United, there's no plan.
No, I totally agree with you. I think what's hurting United is the coaching, and the fact that you guys win games in spite of it makes it worse because they're not going to get rid of a coach that finishes top 4, top 3, top 2. They're not going to do it. As long as you
Chelsea
keep winning games, he's going to be there.
Chelsea would though, and that's what.
Chelsea.
That's why Chelsea wins the league every once in a while. They don't get sentimental when it comes to what happened at Chelsea was we spent 300 million pounds, and you're in ninth place. Sorry, but that's not, that's not good enough.
Huh. Yeah, Abramovich does not have any. He doesn't have any issue with firing people. You're out. I mean, how Frank Lampard barely had 18 months, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. You're done.
Yeah.
It's so yeah. I think the race. I mean, unless City could have a drop off. I mean,
they could. They get a run of injuries.
Everybody has, and I mean, and plus this season with the games, there's a lot more midweek games, and there doesn't seem to be any rest of the wicked, and it's just yeah. To me, it's Liverpool's injuries. United is coaching.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys do it, but Bruno Fernandes manages to draw a penalty like every game, and he like every game I see him play, he scores some penalty spot. I don't know how he does it.
Oh,
but,
don't touch him. We had a penalty disallowed today because Harry Kane went down in the box too easy, and it got awarded, but VAR overturned it. Which they should have, because Harry Maguire was actually offside, like during the play. Like they didn't get rid of the penalty because of that. It was because of him going down too easy, and like the announcers are like, he's offside. Like, why are we even talking about this?
Right.
I mean, so it's just one of those things where until Ole, you can't keep playing Fernandes every game. I know he says he wants to play, but you know what? Sometimes you got to sit a guy down and be like, "You're resting, dude. Like, I need you." Why we're drawing these games is because guys are tired. He's been playing the same team, and it's just, it's frustrating.
It's not like you don't have the guys to rotate. You do. No, but as long as that team keeps pulling him out, he's going to be there.
It's City's titles the league. I mean, that's all.
I agree, and Leicester looks pretty good. They're not the championship team, but they're looking like a top 3, top 4 team.
They're not pushovers, but
no.
I mean, if you go into playing them, like, I know Liverpool lost 3-1, but still, like, Leicester, I mean, they've been playing good all season long, so not a surprise.
Yeah. One more sports thing. Hockey, Ken. We are about 15 to 20 games into this season, so we're about a quarter away now. Things are a little different this year. There's an all Canadian division because the Canadian teams are not allowed to travel to the United States because of this little thing called COVID. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's not that big of a deal, I'm told. But the list came out today. There are 35 players currently on the COVID list in the NHL. None of them are Canadian. So at least one division is doing a pretty good job of playing all its games. The Buffalo Sabres are playing their first game in 3 weeks tonight because they had so many guys on the COVID list.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
This season is going to be bizarre, man. The NHL has said that in the event that every team does not play the same amount of games, they will use winning percentage instead of wins as a deciding factor for who makes the playoffs. So this is going to be this is just going to be a wacky year.
It's setting up to be a cluster, is what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Any
right.
more sports?
No, I think we're gonna wrap up the Whirlwind Week in Review.
All right.
All right. You got a time for a quick love it, hate it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I do.
You love it.
What am I loving? I think it was one of the same things last week, but I am. Well, two things. I'm loving one of the same things I did last podcast. WandaVision. It is getting it's getting better and better every week. It's if you've watched any of it,
no.
Do yourself a favor. It's I love what Disney Plus is for Marvel. They get to do all the weird and wacky stuff.
Yeah.
That they hopefully they'll see how people are loving WandaVision and take that into the movies and really press the weird comic bookness of it, if that makes any sense. And I started and then the other thing I'm loving real quick is I downloaded there's this guy, his name is Nano. He's a Portuguese guy that plays video games and puts them on YouTube. He doesn't stream it. He just like puts like little highlights and stuff as he's playing. And he's just I normally can't watch people just play video games for hours, but his commentary is so hilarious. His sense of humor is just genius sometimes. Like it's so dry and so like there's all these first person shooters and all this crazy stuff, and he just comes in like one time, like you know how people can talk to each other now on the headset.
Yeah.
And there's different, and you got your own squad and you communicate with them, and he was playing a medic, and all of a sudden one of his squad mates came up next to him and he goes, "So, oh hey, how are you doing? Are you winning?" And the guy, like, as soon as he said that to the guy gets like shot in the head and drops right in front of him. And like, he goes, I guess not. Okay. just look, I mean, I know it doesn't sound funny explaining it, but it just cracks me up. Then so that WandaVision, and also one more plug for a YouTube channel. Up is Not Jump. I won't start explaining it. Definitely check out Up is Not Jump. Great one.
All right.
What are you loving? What are you loving, Mark?
Last night while I was setting up this thing that's not done setting up yet, I rewatched Into the Spider-Verse. Man, I've forgotten how good that was.
Love it.
That is top 2 the best comic book movie I've ever seen. And there's a lot of stuff in it that just shouldn't work that really does. Like it's just a masterpiece. It's really good.
And it's not just a masterpiece for like, oh, it's a masterpiece for an animated film. No, it's a masterpiece for a film. I mean, that's how good it is.
Yes. Yeah. And it didn't shy away from its comic bookness. It embraced it, but it embraced it in a way that works. Like in a way that Ang Lee's Hulk tried to do and didn't. Into the Spider-Verse just works. And I don't even know if I can explain why. It just does.
Yeah, it went for it, and it didn't care. Like it's brilliant. It's just it is a brilliant piece of filmmaking. I mean, it works on so many levels.
Yes.
That it does.
What do you hate?
What do I hate? What do I hate? Well, my hate, very simple. My hate is the fact that I'm fucking up our podcast, but it makes for great drama. What I hate is this. I'm gonna do a little something here real quick. What I hate is where's my water? Okay, there's my water bottle. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna do it as I walk back in. Okay. What I hate is the fact that there was a trial for the former president in his second impeachment trial.
Yes.
Even though he did get impeached twice, our former president. But
Yes.
the fact that Republicans, said that, oh yeah, the prosecution had a great case and the defense had no case, and basically saying how they should vote to convict,
right?
But they didn't, and it's like, you guys are all cowards, and most of them, like Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz, deserve to go to jail.
Yes. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, I don't. There's no way around it.
And I just don't get it. I just don't get it. These motherfuckers should be in jail. So I'm not gonna go hardcore into it, but that's my hate.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine is the double standard that's involved in that whole thing. Like, why the fact that we've reached the point where America now has two political parties, one that believes in the rule of law and one that doesn't. And the one that doesn't has the inherent advantage because they are willing to break the law and not hold themselves accountable, but the other side isn't. So you've got one side playing by the rules and the other side not. And it's if you're the side that's playing by the rules, it's really hard to win when the other side's cheating and you can't do anything about it.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, dude. It's just stupid. I'm tired of it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in a bad spot, and I don't know what happens after this. So we'll see.
It's just gonna get worse. But sorry, folks, hope you enjoyed this abbreviated.
Yes. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Our broadcast from super secret location. We'll see what we're able to pull together for you next time. Until then, night, everyone.
Later.
All right.